Good morning slash afternoon slash night, everybody. I hope you're doing well. Yesterday, the deadline for Season 12 submissions finally arrived. Therefore, I figured now is a great time to take a look at almost all of the submissions created for this season. I'm going to rate each submission on a scale of 1 through 5. If a submission gets a 5 out of 5, this means I think it's really likely to get added in the next season. If it gets a 1 out of 5, this means I think it's very unlikely to get added into the next season. Now keep in mind, I'm not rating these items based on how much I like them. I'm rating them based on how likely they are to make it into the season. However, an item that is well designed probably has a higher chance of making it in than a similar item that is poorly designed. There are timecodes in the description if you would like to skip ahead to any section. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe, and let's get started. First, let's take a look at the vehicle submissions. First off, by Fuzzwuz, we have the Demon. I'm going to give this one a 2 out of 5. I don't see this one winning. It's just kind of dull. There's not much popping out about it design-wise, and it doesn't quite fit what people would expect from a military theme. It's just a normal SUV but with a couple weapons. It's kind of like saying the Agent is a military car just because it has some missile launchers. Then by Zio Tsu, we have the Rambo. I'm going to give this one a 2 out of 5. It is technically a military car. It's just I don't think there's a particularly high chance this will get added because I don't think the devs would pick this as the prize for the military season. They'll probably pick something like a tank or some kind of vehicle with heavy weapons on it. And this is basically just a normal car, so I can't quite see them adding it. Then by Legendanius, we have the Army Bus. I'm going to give this one a 1 out of 5. I don't see this one being added at all. It doesn't have much support at all. It's pretty basic. We already have a Jeep in-game, and it would just be a really underwhelming season prize, so I don't think the devs would add this. Then by It's Morios, we have the Seahawk. This one also gets a 1 out of 5 from me because I think there's just no way this would be a season prize. It's way too big to be spawnable, and this would be more fitting as like a 1 million vehicle, not as a season prize. Then by Yamels, we have the Scarabee. This car is really solid. I'm going to give this one a 4 out of 5. It fits the theme quite well. It has some weapons to make it unique, and even without weapons, it's still a pretty cool car. I think this is a perfectly solid season prize, and I could totally see them adding this. Then by 5hex, we have the Dart. I'm giving this a 2 out of 5. The devs have said that they want to change up the bike chassis, so I can't see them adding another bike until they fix it. Then by Guest 51525366177, we have the Sergeant. I'll give this one a 2 out of 5. It's just kind of dull. It's also quite simple in its design. Like, it's not one of the better looking vehicles, so I don't really see this one being added. Then by Ikleon, we have the Basilisk. This is a pretty solid vehicle. I'll give this one a 4 out of 5. I think it has a really good chance. Again by Ikleon, we have the Humvee. I'll give this one a 3 out of 5. It's pretty good. It's put together really well, but I don't think it has a particularly high chance of being added. Lastly, from Ikleon, we have the Dropship. This one gets a 1 out of 5 just because there's no way they'd add this as a spawnable season car. Then by Rising Shadow, we have the Godzilla. I think this one is a 5 out of 5. This one is highly likely to be added in my opinion. It looks really unique. It seats 8 people, which means it has a lot of functionality as it can seat a whole squad of players. This would make it a season vehicle that stands out. It also has a cool turret on top, so maybe it would be able to attack enemies. Out of all the submissions we've looked at so far, I definitely think this has the best chance. Then by Doggo McDingo, we have the Militia. Really solid stuff here. I'd say this is a 3.5 or a 4. I'll be nice and I'll give it a 4 out of 5. Then by Caracal Enjoyer, we have the Ubermech. This is a really cool submission. It actually uses the tank chassis, so it's not like they'd have to create a whole new mech system for this. It would be a really cool and unique season prize. I'll give it a 4.5 out of 5. I don't know why, something just holds this thing back a little bit. Like, I'm a bit unsure if they're gonna add this one, but I think it has a really good chance. Then we have the Battler. This one's pretty cool. I'd say it's a 4 out of 5. Then from Sharky Cat, we have the Night Storm. This is a really cool submission. However, it is created by Sharky Cat, who just had a vehicle added last season, and I know I said this in the last video and that totally made it age bad, but here I genuinely don't think this will be added. I'll give it a 2 out of 5. I just cannot see them adding another Sharky Cat vehicle so soon. The same goes for his other creations, the Night Raider and the Annihilator. Then by Faker Genshin Impact, we have the Baron. This one gets a 1 out of 5 because it's a spawnable plane, and right now the devs don't really do that, so I don't think this will be added. Then by Denold, we have the F4. This is a really cool vehicle. I'd say this is a 4 out of 5. It has a pretty good chance. Then from Coinies, we have the Foxbat. Man, Coinies needs a vehicle added so badly. Unfortunately, this one gets a 1 out of 5 from me because it is a spawnable jet. I would really love if they added this as a jet revamp though, if it has an interior. I can't tell if it has one or not. Up next from Rally Subby, he's created several different tanks. The one we're looking at here, the Ratnik, I'm going to give a 4 out of 5. I think it has a really good chance of being added. And the same rating applies to all the other tanks he's created. Then for our final submission, we have the Floppy from Rally Subby. I'll give this one a 3 out of 5. It's made by Rally Subby, so it's pretty well made, and it fits the theme pretty well. It's just one of the less exciting military vehicles, so I don't think it has a particularly high chance. Now let's look at the textures created. First up, from Maze VFX or Maze XMS, we have the Mono Camo texture. This texture is pretty cool. I'll give it a 4 out of 5. Then by Coinies, we have Digital Camo Forest. I'll give this one a 3 out of 5. If they're gonna add a camo skin, I think they just add a normal one, not a digital one. But if they want to be more unique, then they could add this one. Then from Plasmazilla, we have the Fallen Fighter texture. This is pretty cool. However, I'm hesitant on guessing if they're gonna add this one because it has the French flag on it, and they might not want to add stuff that has flags of certain countries, so that holds it back, and I'll give it a 3 out of 5. However, that could easily not be the case, and I could totally see them add this. Then from Faker Gensh, we have the Jungle Camo skin. Honestly, I think this one is a 2.5. I can't really see this one being added because it's bright green. It looks a lot like the camo skin we already have. And if they're going to add a camo, I think it would be a different variation. Then from Benjamites, we have the Tank Tread texture. I'll give this one a 2.5 as well because it does have nice details on it, and there is a slight chance. However, it's very similar to the Old Town Road skin. Then from Wifiax, we have the Aquatic Camo. I think this one's a 3 out of 5. If they'll add a camo skin, I think they just add a green one, but there's a chance they could add this one. Then from Italimpex, we have the Navy Camouflage skin. This one is really cool. It looks a lot like a Navy uniform. Now, I don't know if they're going to want to avoid putting certain countries' names on the submissions, so I'm wondering if they would put one that says Navy on it. But besides that, I think this has a really good chance, so I'll give it a 4 out of 5. Then from Dr. Radium, we have the Flying Shark texture. Initially, I was hesitant to highly praise this texture as I was wondering how well it would look on other cars, but then I realized that, as you can see here, it actually does translate well to other vehicles. Therefore, I'll give this one a 4.5 out of 5. It looks really cool, it's an iconic design, and it seems to fit really well on most vehicles. Then from Icleon, we have the Nuclear Waste texture. Icleon has proven to be a very reputable creator when it comes to skins, and this one is no exception. It has all the detail I've come to expect from an Icleon skin, and overall it just looks quite great. I'll give this one a 4.5 out of 5. I'm holding back half a point because I could see them refusing to add this as a season skin and maybe adding it as a nuke skin in the future. And finally, we have the Weathered Camo texture from Icleon. I definitely think we're going to get a camo texture this season as the current camo texture does not look good, and out of all the camo textures we've seen, I think this is the most likely to get added. Icleon just did a great job designing it. Therefore, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5. I think this is highly likely to make it into the season. Now let's check out the spoilers submitted for the season. First up from Denold6 we have the minigun. I'd give this one a 3 out of 5. It looks really cool, but I highly doubt it would be functional, so I wouldn't really see the point of adding a non-functional minigun as a spoiler. Then from Faker Genshin Impact we have the barbed wire spoiler. I'm gonna give this one a 2 out of 5. I honestly can't really see them adding this one. They haven't added a random object as a spoiler for quite some time, as those spoilers don't turn out to be very popular. I don't know if you'll be able to customize this, and it doesn't look that good on a car. It would be better suited as like an apartment decoration or something. Then from Dr. Radium we have the siren spoiler. I'll give this one a 3 out of 5. Speed Queen created the anti-missile battery spoiler. These are really cool. I think they are a 5 out of 5. I think it's highly likely Asimo will add these. Again from Speed Queen we have the missile spoiler. I'll give these ones a 3 out of 5. I would have given them a 5 out of 5, but Speed Queen submitted these a little late, so unfortunately they might not be added. Then from Sharky Cat we have the Afterburner wing. This is a really cool spoiler. It looks like the back of a jet mounted onto a car. I'll give it a 4 out of 5. And finally from Sharky Cat we have the turret spoiler. I'll give this one a 3 out of 5 because if they're gonna add a gun thing as a spoiler, I think they'd add it different. Now let's look at the rims that were created for the season. First up from Denold we have the tank track rim. This rim's pretty solid. I'll give it a 3.5 out of 5. I think it has a pretty good chance. Then from It's Morios we have the lug rims. I'll give these ones a 3 out of 5. Then from Plasmazilla we have the recoil rims. These rims are also quite simple, but they're pretty effective, and they're pretty good, so I'll give them a 3.5 out of 5. Then from Zushi Shushi we have the Commando rims. These will get a 3 out of 5. Again from Zushi Sushi we have the Patriot rims. These will get a 3.5 out of 5. I think these have a higher chance, as that star in the middle does a lot for them. However, the outer bit could use a little bit more detail, so I think that holds it back. Then from Plasmazilla we have the landmine rims. I think this has a really good chance. I'll give it a 4 out of 5. It fits the theme really well. Again from Zuzi Zushi we have the medallion rims. These are pretty good. I'd say they're a 3 out of 5. Then from Speed Queen we have the sniper rims. I will give these ones a 5 out of 5. I think they're highly likely to be added. They just fit the theme so well, they look really good, and they can fit a lot of cars, not just military themed cars. Again from Caracal Enjoyer, we have the Ward Badge rims. I'll give these ones a 3 out of 5 as well, again, as they are very similar to the medallion rims, and I don't know which one Asimo would pick if he were to add one of these. Then from Hot Hat, we have the radar rims. These ones will get a 5 out of 5 for me. I think these will definitely be added. They look really cool, they match the theme really well, and they're actually animated. They're like the Tesseract rims from the safes. And finally from Memesolent we have the heavy duty rims. These are also quite solid. I'll give them a 4 out of 5. They're simple but they're effective. I could see these being one of the free season prizes. Now for our final category, let's look at the furniture submitted for the season. First up from Caracal Enjoyer we have the Jeep Grill. This is really solid. I think this has a really good chance of being added. It's a really unique idea and it fits the theme really well, therefore I'll give it a 4 out of 5. Then from Silent Polarization we have the military bunkable bed. This is really good. I think there's a really good chance this could be added. I'll give it a 4 out of 5. Again from Silent Polarization we have the warplane. This is also quite good. I think the only thing holding it back a little bit is that the body is very basic, but furniture can't be that detailed anyways, so I'll give it a 4.5 out of 5. Again from Zushi Sushi we have the metal display case. This is simple but really effective and it's pretty recognizable. I'd say this is a 4.5 out of 5. The simplicity might hold it back compared to other furniture, but I think this has a really good chance of being added. Again from Zushi Sushi we have the tank bed. I'll give this one a 4.5 out of 5 as well. Then from Viking Boss we have the shotgun shell sofa. This is really simple, but it's a really good idea. The only thing that holds it back is that it only got 35 upvotes. However, the devs have added stuff that didn't get much upvotes in the past, but I'm wondering if they'll add this one because 35 is pretty low. Therefore, I'll give it a 3.5 out of 5. It's a really good idea. If it had more upvotes, I'd give it a 4 or even a 4 point. But here, I'm just kind of hesitant. But for our final submission, we have the Camo Cube from Serval Enjoyer. This is truly a masterpiece. This is beautiful. This is amazing. Just look at it. How could our brains possibly comprehend this masterpiece? Not only is this a 5 out of 5, not only is this a 10 out of 5, this is a 1000 out of 5. Jailbreak Creations has officially peaked. There's no way we're gonna get past this.
Actually, this is not even close to being the best submission. It's just a camouflaged cube. This is so lazy and the guy puts in no effort season after season. Does he really think this will get added? Also, how does this get 1000 out of 5? This makes absolutely no sense. Clearly you haven't graduated elementary school.
Oh, is that right? That's gonna conclude my coverage of almost every Season 12 submission. What do you think? Which prizes are your favorite? Which ones do you want to be added the most? Are you excited for the season? Make sure to tell me everything down below in the comments. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more jailbreak videos, please make sure to like and subscribe. Also consider joining my Roblox group linked in the description, as well as following me on Twitter and joining my Discord server. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and have a good day, night, or whatever.
Man, that was uncalled for. You're gonna pay for that.